everybody. Again, thanks for coming. My name is Sarah Rogers. For those of you who don't know me, for those of you who do, welcome. There's a lot of artistic people here tonight and a lot of you supporting newcomers as well as seasoned actors as well as advanced actors. This is a class of mixed people. They've come a long way in 8 weeks. I'm very proud of them and I'm so happy that all of you here are supporting them. I'm sure you're some friends and some family members, and we have a few empty chairs here, but people will be late, they always are. So we're just going to start on time, which is 7:15, and I think we're really close to that now. Just support your people, do the best you can, and one more time, just please, 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 turn those cell phones off, okay? Thank you so much again for coming, and we'll just start right now.
Hi, my name is Jeffrey Philippe, and I'll be performing a monologue titled Key Exchange, written by Kevin Wade, and I'll be portraying the character of Michael. If you really want to know, married life really sucks. My wife left me. The composer, the guy she's been working with, well, he tells her he can't help himself, and she can't help herself. So they're out there somewhere helping themselves. I mean, I'm in bed and I'm trying to get something started, and she ups and she turns on the light and says, Michael, we got to talk. There's this man, Eric, the musician. We have feelings for each other. I can hear her voice now, the pressure from the wedding, the intimacy of working together, but I can't, Michael. I'm with you now, but I'm thinking about him. I can't live in this limbo, she tells me. Then she ups and she goes into the restroom and she's putting all her makeup and stuff into a bag. And she says, it's nothing you've done. Me and this Eric guy, we connect on a totally different level. And physical attraction is a part of what's between us. Can you believe her? Physical attraction. I mean, we're really fighting hard at this time. She starts to cry and she goes back into the bedroom and I'm left there crazy. I've never seen myself like that. I was crazy. I see the tube of muscle of Tiger Balm, of her cream lying on the table. I grab the cream and I squeeze it into the toilet. I see my tube of muscle liniment. I grab the muscle liniment and I hold it nozzle to nozzle. It was crazy. I've never seen myself like that. I figured I'd give him something to remember me by, right? Since they're so flippin' hot for each other, let them go out like a couple firecrackers.
Hi, my name is Tracy Evan, and I'm going to be doing a monologue from the play 5 Women Wearing the Same Dress by Alan Ball, and I'm doing the role of Georgine. Yes, this is about Tommy Valentine. So, I was walking down the aisle, and the first thing I saw was the back of his head. I mean, it just jumped right out at me. I recognized that little design on the back of his neck where the hair starts. You know, where it comes to those 2 little points and it's darker than the rest. I always thought that was so sexy. Then I was watching him during the ceremony. Just the way the light hit his face, I swear, it just broke my heart. Then outside, I see him talking to this total bitch wearing this navy blue linen dress with no back. I mean, you could see her ass. And he was smiling at her with that smile. That same smile that used to make me feel like I really meant something to him. And then it all came back, just bang. All the times I sat by the phone waiting for his call. Me going out of my way to make things convenient for him. Having to take a fucking taxi cab to the Women's Health Center that day because it was too cold and my car wouldn't start. And then later, that awful night, I sat in front of his apartment building, just staring at Tracy's burgundy cutlass in the driveway, just wishing I was dead. You know, I started smoking cigarettes that night, and if I ever die of cancer, it's gonna be all Tommy Valentine's fault.
Good evening. My name is Dennis Moore,
And my name is Carlos Palacio.
and we will be performing a scene from
Mass Appeal, written by,
Bill C. Davis,
my character's name is Mark.
and my character's name is Willis. Mark, come in here.
I'm helping Margaret with the dishes.
Never mind about the dishes. Come in here now. It's important.
I just have a few more pots.
Monsignor Burke wants to see you as soon as I'm through with you.
He's upset about the sermon.
He says it's not about the sermon.
He's not?
Monsignor Burke has appointments with several seminarians and now you.
Why?
It seems some dress funny and others hang out together too much.
What did I do?
It seems you were too vehement in your defense of Frank Kearney and Alfred Verassi.
Father, he's nuts.
That's just the kind of intelligent response he's hoping you'll resort to.
Do I have to put up with this? Can't I just see the bishop?
The bishop is so paranoid about this Frank and Alfred business, he wishes all altar boys were girls. So he'll let Burke do as he wants.
What is he going to ask?
Well, that's hard to say. These interviews change according to the person he's into. Let's do it.
What?
The interview. I'll play Monsignor Burke and you play you.
Sorry, Father. I shouldn't have to go through this at all.
Mark, relax. You've got nothing to be afraid of. Do you? Come on, just go out there and come in like you're coming in for the interview.
Father, I don't want to play your psycho games.
Mark, you have to go through this with as much grace and tact as you can. You cannot afford a repeat of your last encounter with them.
You're right.
Good day, Dawson.
Hello, Monsignor.
You're late.
I am? Well, sorry. I've been fasting all week and meditating every night, so time and space are...
That's very interesting, Dawson. Have you considered a career in a contemplative order?
Funny you say that. Father Farley suggested that to me just today.
Well, he does come up with some pretty good ideas every so often. Leave me out of this. Now, I would like to ask you a few questions. My first question is to do with Frank Kearney and Alfred Verassi.
He wouldn't get into that
Yes,
right
he
away.
would. He's a busy man.
Well, if he's so busy, then he can skip my interview.
All right, have it your way. How is your family?
Fine, thank you.
There's one thing I've always been curious about with regards to your family life, Dawson. Why did you leave home at 16?
I wanted to be on my own.
But so young? Was there something at home pushing you out?
I don't think I was aware of it at the time, but there was a silence in my house that crushed me. I had courses going on inside my head, and at the dinner table we chewed and clanked.
So,
At times, I thought the fork will melt right in my hand.
So they let you go?
Yes.
Where did you go?
What were you asking about Frank and Alfred?
Well, I was curious about why you reacted so strongly to the suggestion that they take a year off from their studies.
It wasn't a suggestion. It was a demand. They didn't take a year off. You kicked them out.
All right, if you want to be direct, do you think priests should be allowed to sleep together?
They weren't even priests. They weren't even deacons. A vow of celibacy was far off for them.
Do you think such practices are easily dispensed with?
Is your questions along the lines of, how are you going to keep them on the farm after they seen Perry?
Stop your verbal acrobatics and give a response to whatever you interpret my question to be.
Yes, I think they'll stay on the farm after they seen Perry.
How do you know?
I did not say I know, I said I think.
All right. Let me ask my next question. In your native tongue, have you ever seen Paris? And if so, was it with Parisians or Parisians?
Both.
Really?
That's it, Father. You had enough.
I was playing Monsignor Burke. Both?
Yes, women and men, two sexes, Monsignor. You know, before I came to the seminary, I enrolled myself in a 3-year orgy that laid waste to every fiber of my character. Does that sound apologetic enough? How about this, Monsignor Burke? Please understand, I indulged my sexual ambivalence. I searched with my body and I discovered that I can never reconcile my inner emotional world that way. Others have, but my unique human and personal condition called for another way. So I invite celibacy. I'll be happy to stay on that farm because it is there where I'll be calm enough to help others. Because the real joy in this world is helping other people. I am determined and perfectly prepared to become a priest. What would you say to that?
Both?
Will you stop, Father?
Mark, it's just that I've never seen you in this light before.
What light?
Red light, Mark!
And you've never been in the red light?
By the time my father left and my mother died, I couldn't bear to be near man, woman, or piano leg. Celibacy came naturally to me. Mark, if Monsignor Burke asks you, say yes, I made love to Parisians.
But that's a half-truth, Father.
Mark, stop with the principles. Enough with the principles. This is too serious for principles. And in the bigger scheme of things, he's not that important.
But the truth is, Father, I would not become a priest on a lie.
Better that than not at all.
Hi, I'm Susan Prowler, and I'll be doing a monologue from Cutbacks, and I will be playing the character of Mary Ellen, and it's by, Glenn Oldman. Cutbacks? The word felt like a razor across my throat. But Mr. Klein, I said, I've been with this company nearly 20 years. I'm sorry, he said. Nothing I can do. But sir, I'm reliable. I've never made any waves. I've always been on time. Please don't take it personally, Mary Ellen. Decision's final. I'll never forget the look in his eyes. Helpless. Sad. I'm sure like executioners just before they pull the switch. try to understand, he said. It's for the good of the company. It was either cut back or close. But why me, sir? Why me? He didn't answer. He just turned and looked out his window. Suddenly I felt as helpless as he looked, like I had no arms or legs. Like the two of us were somehow floating in space. Time had stopped, and all there was the bright sun shining through his window, blinding us. He looked at me and said, "You have no idea how difficult a decision this is, Mary Ellen." And as I left, I said, "Yeah? Difficult? Sure? Have a nice day."
Hi, my name is Murray Milne, and I'm going to be performing a monologue by Bernard Slade called Same Time Next Year. My character is George. Doris, there's something I have to tell you. I know you think I do this sort of thing all the time, and yeah, I know I appear smooth and glib sexually. Doris, do you think that two people, two total strangers, can look across a room at each other and have this sudden, overwhelming impulse to be with each other in every possible way? No? Neither do I. So that can't be it then. So what started this? I never do this sort of thing. I have a friend that says life is just about saying yes, and the most I can manage is maybe. I guess I was lonely. You were so vulnerable, and you were sat there with a run in your stocking and your lipstick was smeared. I thought you looked beautiful. And we had that instant rapport. Did you feel that too? Doris, I know it's only natural for us to be sort of inquisitive about each other's man and husband and wife. But let's not dwell on that. Let's not let that spoil everything. Let's do this. I have an idea. Why don't I tell you the best side of my wife and the worst side of my wife, and then we'll forget all about it. Okay? I'll go first. The worst side of my wife, Phyllis, she knows about us.
Hello, my name is Jordan Patriarca,
And I'm Jo Liakis.
and we will be performing a scene from Faculty Lounge by Michael Schulman. My character's name is Rhoda.
And my character's Linda. So, what's new in arithmetic? Have they discovered any new numbers yet? You know, you might not be able to tell from looking at me, but I used to love mathematics. Just adored equations. They were so neat. And they gave one a sense of power. Shoving X's and Y's around, up and down, back and forth. That is, if you knew the rules. Very neat. Just to know the area of any circle, anywhere in the universe. I'm afraid there's nothing like that in English literature.
The circumference.
What?
2 pi r is the measure of the circumference.
Ah, yes, the circumference.
Pi r squared is the area of the circle.
Of course, how could I have forgotten?
Oh, they're easy to forget if you don't use them regularly. But you do seem to understand the love for it. People don't realize mathematics is a very passionate subject.
That's so true.
Do you know that there are equations out there that actually make me cry?
No.
Yes, some are so beautiful they actually bring tears to my eyes. My favorite is the hypotenuse of a right triangle. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Ugh, the simplicity of it.
Oh, yes, I like that one myself.
Pythagorean theorem.
Those Greeks certainly knew their triangles.
Oh, the calculus, man's greatest invention. Nothing quite like it.
Nothing.
So efficient.
So practical.
The elegance of it.
Like Fred Astaire.
Fred Astaire?
Poor analogy, sorry.
Well, it was nice finally getting a chance to chat with you.
Rhoda?
Who would have thought you would have had a love for mathematics?
Rhoda, would you do something for me?
I must admit, I was feeling a little alone before, lost.
Rhoda?
Like a little girl her first day in school.
Rhoda! Rhoda, would you do me a small favor?
Yes, of course.
Great. I'd like you to make a phone call for me.
A phone call? I'm not very good on the phone. I get kind of nervous, and people up here don't understand what I'm saying.
This will be easy for you.
Well, who do you want me to call?
His name is Richard.
Richard? That's a man. I don't think.
This is right up your alley, Rhoda. You see, what we have here could be called a classic triangle.
Oh?
I will dial a number for you, and when a man answers, you'll say, "Is this Richard Garvin?"
His last name's the same as yours. Is he a relative?
Sherlock Holmes would be proud of you. Yes, he's my ex-husband.
Oh.
You'll say, "Is this Richard Garvin?"
Is this Richard Garvin?
And when he says,
Is this Richard Garvin?
yes, very good. And when he says yes, you'll ask him if I'm there.
But you're here.
Yes, but he doesn't know that now, does he?
Oh.
You see, in this little enterprise, we could refer to my whereabouts as X.
Oh. Oh.
So when you ask for me,
Ring, ring. Is this Richard Garvin? He says yes. And then I say, oh,
what?
well, how shall I ask about you? Shall I say, is your ex-wife there?
No! I mean, no! Ask if Mrs. Garvin is there.
Ring, ring. Is this Richard Garvin? Yes. Is Mrs. Garvin there?
Katharine Hepburn, watch out! Then...
Ring, ring. Is this Richard
Rhoda,
Garvin?
Rhoda, I think you've mastered this part of it.
Okay.
Then he'll say no, and then ask if I'm there. He's going to ask who's calling, and I want you to say, "This is the principal's office at the high school."
Oh.
Then you're going to say that I left early and you overheard me telling someone I was headed for my ex-husband's house, and you're calling because I seemed upset.
Oh, no, I couldn't say all
You
that.
see, I want him to think I'm on my way over. He knows what I can be like when I'm mad. I want him to get jealous and throw his new lady friend out. I'm also the jealous type.
No, I couldn't.
Why not?
Because it's lying.
Oh, because it's lying. First day on the job and filled with scruples. Well, no. I like that. I like that. Okay, let's try a different approach. No lying. You'll ask, "Is this Richard Garvin?" Then you'll ask if I'm there. When he says no, you'll say, "Watch out for her," and hang up.
Watch out for her.
Yes, I'm her. That should do the trick, that little sissy. Oh, and I assure you, you won't be lying.
I don't know.
Come on, Roadhouse, women have to stick together.
Well, all right.
Great, do you have your phone on you? Are you ready? Okay, good, I'll dial.
performing a monologue titled The Amen Corner, written by James Baldwin. My character is Margaret Alexander. David, I'm older than you. I done been down the line. I know and no safety anywhere in this world if you don't get close to God. What do you think the world got out there for you but a broken heart? I remember boys like you down there today, breaking rocks and building bridges, and they ain't gonna hold up their heads ever in this world anymore. There are boys all over this city, filling up the gym mill, standing in corners, running down the alley, tearing themselves to pieces with knives and whiskey, dope and sin. You would think I want this to happen to you? You would think I want to see you laying where your daddy lies today? No, he ain't gonna listen. Young folks never listen. They just go on headlong. And they ain't think that anything gonna be too big for them. By the time they find out, it's too late.
Hello, my name is Darcy Dixon. I'll be performing a monologue for you from Bull Durham by Ron Shelton. I'll be playing the character of Annie. I believe in the Church of Baseball. I've tried all the major religions, some of the minor ones. I've worshipped Buddha, Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, trees, mushrooms, and Isidore Duncan. I know some things. For instance, I know there's 108 beads in the Catholic Rosary, and there are 108 stitches in a baseball. When I learned that, I gave Jesus a chance. But it just didn't work out between us. The Lord laid too much guilt on me. I prefer metaphysics to theology. You see, there's no guilt in baseball, and it's never boring, which makes it like sex. There's never been a player who slept with me who didn't have the best year of his career. Making love is like hitting a baseball. You just gotta relax and concentrate. Of course, I'd never sleep with a player hitting under 250. Not unless he had a lot of RBIs and was a great glove man up the middle. I instill a lot of confidence in these boys. Sometimes when I get a ball player alone, I'll read Emily Dickinson or Walt Whitman to them. The boys are so sweet. They'll always stay and listen. Of course, a man will listen to anything if he thinks it's foreplay. I give them confidence, and they make me feel safe and pretty. Of course, what I give them lasts a lifetime. What they give me lasts 142 games. Sometimes it seems like a bad trade. But hey, bad trades are a part of baseball. Who can forget Frank Robinson for Milt Pappas, for God's sakes? You You know, it's a long season, and you gotta trust it. I've tried them all, I really have. And the only church that feeds my soul, day in, day out, is the Church of Baseball.
Hello, everybody. My name is Sean Griffin.
Hi, my name is Jeffrey Philippe, and we'll be performing a scene titled Five on the Black Hand Side.
It's written by Charlie Russell,
I'll be portraying the character of Booker T.
and I'll be playing Gideon.
Look, bro. I've been getting negative vibes from you all day. You have something to say, man. Why don't you just come out and say it?
All right, man. Whatever. Look, tell me something. You got anything against sisters?
What? Do I have anything against black women? No, I don't have anything against black women.
I just want to see where you're coming from, all man. That's all. I never see you uptown with any chicks. Every time I see you, you're by yourself. So, man, there's a whole lot of sexy black women out here, man. You can't find one.
What you doing there, man? Writing a book or something?
If I were, I'd definitely leave that chapter out.
What are you talking about, man? Where's this coming from?
Look, man, I just want to know if you got anything against sisters, that's all. Why are you bugging?
I don't have anything against black women. I already told you that.
Uh-huh. You know what I think? I think you're afraid of sisters, man.
Man, no.
'Cause you can't handle it.
Again.
I bet you're the kind of guy who ends up marrying some white chick.
Oh, shit.
You probably got a white girl right now. What you think about that, big brother?
You know what I think? I think you're a crazy nigga, man.
There you go.
I think you've been taking those ignorant pills again, man. Matter of fact, I think you got a hold of that synthetic weed again. If you did, give me some, man. I want to talk crazy like you.
Man, do you?
Do I what?
Do you have a white girlfriend?
Listen, man. I came up here to get you and Dad together.
Here you go.
That's all right? I'm really on this peace thing right now, and I don't want to get into it with you right now, okay?
Booker, stop playing games, man. Just be honest. You were seen going into Terry's with the blonde. You've been seen going to the boondocks with the blonde. Man, what's happening with you?
Okay, so if I see a white chick every now and then, why are you getting so excited, man?
Why am I getting so excited?
Yeah, listen, who I see on my personal time has nothing to do with anything. All right? That's a personal matter. Okay?
Okay, if you say so. Look, man, who you date is fine. But who you sleep with, that's very important, Booker. That's the first face you see in the morning. That's where you get your energy from, man. That's your reflection. That's your mirror, man. You hear me? Your mirror. Come on, Booker, man. You out here sleeping with the enemy.
Look, man, if you must know, I've dated vast amount of black women.
I doubt it.
And I just haven't been able to find one that I vibe with, one that I really groove with, that's all.
That's because you can't find it in your own self.
Listen, man, you know what? I'm on this peace thing, like I said. I don't want to get into it with you right now. So I don't have time for this right now, okay?
All right, Booker, wait. Come on, come back. Just come back, come on.
I don't...
Just tell me something, man. Are you bringing your little girlfriend to the wedding?
Oh, okay. All right.
Should I tell Mom and Dad? I heard she went to a good school and all. I'm sure they'll be highly impressed.
You know what? I know what you want.
What's that?
I haven't dusted you off in a while, man.
Come on, man.
That's what you want, man.
Why y'all trying to get into a physical thing?
Uh-huh.
I'm just asking you to be a man, Booker. Just be a man. Stop trying to be in the middle all the time.
Yeah?
You can't be into a white and black thing at the same time, man. It won't work.
And what you know, man? Don't let this business attire fool you, man.
I know that you're a sucker. I bet I know that.
All right, I'm about to show you a sucker right now.
No, I ain't like in old times. I ain't small no more. What's up?
Hello, my name is Jo Liakis. I'll be performing a piece from Goodbye Charlie, written by George Axelrod, and my character's name is Rusty. Oh no, our Charlie? Our Charlie was a monster. Fun and games just weren't enough for our hero. No, it didn't count unless the girl was really in love with him. And if she happened to be married to a friend of ours, oh, well, that was extra points. He had me. He really had me good. Me, Rusty Meyerling, a girl who's been around. There I am, waiting for him behind garages, calling him up hysterically at all hours of the night. Oh, he got a kick out of that. Phone calls. He'd be sweet in the phone. Sweet, but very firm and very masculine. Can tonight, darling. Got a script to finish. Then he'd hang up, turn to the girl who was listening on the other line, shrug an apologetic little shrug, sigh, and say, nut stuff. That was an expression of his. A real Charlie expression. And he had a charming definition for it. Hold on, wait, I want to make sure I get this right. Yep, nut stuff. Nut stuff is what calls you up hysterically at 3 in the morning, threatening to throw themselves off the balcony if you don't. Old Charlie may not have had much a sense of humor. Every once in a while, though, he'd get a pretty good one. Nut stuff. That was one of his pretty good ones, don't you think?
Hello, I'm Shirley Jean. I will be performing a monologue entitled Seascapes with Sharks and Dancers by Dawn Negro. My character's name is Tracy. Anybody that really loved me wouldn't try to make me stay someplace I didn't want to be, would they? What kind of love is that when you push people around? You're just like everybody else. You just want to use me. You don't care about me. You just want to own me. And you think you can make me your own personal slave just by playing Jesus Christ all the time. What a hypocrite. What a hypocrite you are. Why can't you understand that I don't need you, and I don't want you, and I can't stand looking at your stupid face anymore? You think I don't really mean that? You think underneath all this, I'm just really nice. But you don't understand normal people. Normal people don't love people. Not like you want. You live in a whole different world. I slept with more men than I can remember even. Big, smelly, ugly men. I once slept with 3 men and they took turns doing it to me in the back of a truck all night. And that was just about the best night I spent in my whole life. That shocks you, doesn't it? Don't try to tell me it doesn't. I can tell when somebody's shocked, and you're shocked. What do I want? I want to see some kind of normal human reaction out of you. That's what I want. Maybe some good old-fashioned hate, for instance. Come on, Ben. I know it's in there. Let it out. You want to bash my brains out with a crowbar, don't you?
Good evening, thank you for coming. We would like to build you a machine now. Any suggestions on what kind of machine you'd like us to build?
A car.
A car? Okay, here we go.
Honk. Honk. Beep, beep.
Hello, my name is Anne-Marie St. John.
And my name is Murray Milne. Tonight we're performing a play called
The First Breeze of Summer.
by Leslie Lee.
My character is Lucretia.
And mine is Mr. Britain.
Mr. Britton, I haven't finished my cleaning and I got my cooking to do.
You've got plenty of time for that.
Mr. Britton, your father finds out. You know, he got a mean temper and I can't afford to lose my job, my child.
They're gone. They're gone and you know it. Come on, I'll show you. I'll show you they're gone. And then what sort of an excuse will you have? Hey, you old son of a bitch, you down there? You're gone, aren't you? You and your old bitch off to another one of your goddamn parties. Tell this black woman here, who won't kiss me, that you're gone and you won't be coming back until she kisses me at least once. Tell her, Daddy. Tell her, so she won't be scared. See, they're gone.
Sometimes they come back early.
And most times they don't. You think they get all fixed up like they do, just to come sneaking back round and spy on us?
Mr. Britton,
I see what you've been doing. You've been teasing me, haven't you? You've been teasing this little white boy ever since you came into this house, dragging your knapsack and your little kid behind you.
Mr. Britton, I haven't. I most certainly haven't.
Oh, yes, you have. I've seen the way you look at me when you're serving at the table. Those sneaky little glances, the little smile on your mouth, the way you rub up against me.
Mr. Britton, you're lying. That is not true.
Oh, yes, it is.
Hello, my name is Carlos Palacio, and I'll be performing a monologue called Top 5 Things I Miss About Laura, written by Nick Hornby. Top 5 things I miss about Laura. 1, a sense of humor. Very dry, but it could be warm and forgiving. And she got the best all-time laughs in the history of all-time laughs. Like, she laughs with her entire body. 2, she has character. Or at least she had character since the Ian nightmare. She's loyal and she's honest. And she doesn't take it out on people when she's having a bad day. And that's character. 3, I miss her smell and the way she tastes. It's a mystery of human chemistry and I don't understand it. For some people, as far as their senses are concerned, it just feels like home. 4, I really dig how she walks around. It's like she doesn't care about how she looks or what she projects. And it's not that she doesn't care, it's that she's not affected, I guess. And that gives her grace. 5, she does this thing in bed when she can't get any sleep. She kind of half moans and then rubs her feet together an equal number of times. Believe me, it kills me. I mean, I could do a top 5 things about her that drive me crazy. But that's just your garden variety of women. You know, schizo stuff. And that's the kind of thing that brought me here.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Dennis Moore, and I'll be performing a monologue titled Woman and Shoes by Nina Schengold. I've got a question. You ready for this? It's a question. I want to know, and how come it is, and I want that you should think about this, that there is not one single female woman on earth that can walk past a shoe store without looking in. Never happened. I ask myself, you're out there walking. This woman and you. You're walking along in a strolling, walking kind of way, taking the air. And she's still going to check out those shoes. Now, you could be talking about anything, right? Like sex, you could be talking about. And she's still going to check out those shoes. Now, what I'm trying to ask myself here is, or even before I even ask myself that, said, there is the day a woman walks right past a shoe store, is the day hell will drive ass pops. Now, what I'm trying to ask myself here is just how come it is? Who looks at their feet? You look at their feet? I never look at their feet. You ask what my wife stuck her feet in the last 5 days running. I have not a clue what my wife stuck her feet in. Shoes, right? Shoes. But the same shoes? All different shoes? What do I know? She's got 45 pairs of them lined up under her bed. She's got bags on the door of them. She's got them in boxes. My wife, she's got shoes like there's legs coming out of each pair. And a girl coming out of each leg. I'd be set up for life. And yet, in spite of the fact that I don't give a rat's butt what she's got stuck on her feet, that I don't ever notice, we walk past the shoe store, and that's death. I mean, we could be talking about sport. Go figure. Shoes? Now, I'm not talking like them here. I'm talking the universe hangs on 2 pieces of leather. Plus in which they silly things. The shoes women wear, little strappy things. Heels are like screwdrivers. Colors. I mean, have you ever seen a man wearing red shoes? Now, I'm not talking sneakers here. Nor am I talking a man of a sort, you catch my drift, might wear red shoes. I'm talking regular shoes on a man. They don't come in red. They don't need to come in red. Shoes are for keeping your feet clean. Keep them off the street, out of the mud, and out of the rain. This is how I see the function of shoes.
Susan Prowler,
I'm Darcy Dixon.
and we will be doing a scene from Fast Girls by Diane Amsterdam. My character will be Abigail.
I'll be Lucy.
And who was that?
Joe. That Abigail was Joe.
I doubt it. I mean, millions of people call themselves Joe, Lucy, but nobody's really named Joe. What did he say his last name is?
Joe, I don't remember. Something very nice.
But you did. I mean, it looks like you did. It seems like you did. You seem like you did. You look like you did. He looked like he did. Like you look like you did. But if you can't remember his name, I can't believe you did. But you did. Didn't you? Did you?
O'Malley.
You did.
Abigail, please. I haven't even had my coffee yet. I have to meet a writer today for lunch at 2 o'clock. What time is it?
10:06.
Oh, thank God. I have hours. Hours.
Didn't you get any sleep?
Not much.
How much? Not much. 6 hours? 3 hours? A couple of minutes? He was here 9 hours and 25 minutes.
Timed how long he was here?
My watch did all the work. Naturally, I was concerned, Lucy. What do we really know about this person?
Okay. His name is Joe C. O'Malley. He's 23 years old. He lives in Brooklyn. He's assistant to Connie Stone at Dell. And his thumbnails are wider than they are high.
That's important.
And his face. With a face like that, you'd think he'd be stuck up as all hell, but he's not. He's so sweet. And he was so nervous. Why was he so nervous around me?
Probably you remind him of his mother. Check out his arms for needle marks.
I checked out his arms. And I checked out the rest of them, too. I'm sorry, Abby. I just can't worry. Even if I wanted to, I couldn't worry. I feel like every cell in my body's been washed clean of worrying, like the street after a spring rain.
I was worried sick over you. You go out last night at 9:05. You tell me you just go to the corner for a beer. You don't come in till 2:13. I practically called the police. I destroyed an entire fingernail. And then I couldn't even get a good look at him through the peephole. The hall was so goddamn dark.
You were watching?
Only with one eye.
Oh.
And then you bring him in, and the door slams. 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock.
Abigail.
Oh, sure. Maybe your cells are squeaky clean. Maybe my cells haven't been cleaned or dusted in even a year. Maybe I look miserable to you. Maybe I look miserable to me. Maybe I am miserable. But at least I know it. The piper must be paid.
Baby, I've brought men home before.
Not for a long time. Not complete strangers.
I met him at the Dalton party.
2 weeks ago?
Yes.
You didn't tell me.
Well, I can't tell you everything.
Oh, yes, you can. If you don't tell me about men, I have no love life.
Okay. I met Joe at the party. He never called. So last night, remember how the air felt like velvet?
Yeah.
And I asked you to come out with me, and as usual, you made up some excuse.
I had to wait for Ernest to call.
Yeah. So I went by myself, and I tried to call Joe.
You called him?
Yes.
You called him?
Yes.
From where?
I'm trying to tell you. I went to Pete's, and I was nursing a cold beer, and I thought about Joe and his mouth, and I thought, destiny. Anyway, he didn't have anything to do, so he came over.
What a loser.
That's the whole story. So please don't worry about me.
Of course I'm gonna worry about you, Lucy.
No, please, I don't need anyone worrying about me right now.
You can't stop people from worrying about you.
Look, I just got out of a relationship where everyone was constantly worrying about me, and I mean it, Abigail. I want some time to do some things where I don't have to worry about worrying other people, all right?
Okay. 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 Do what you want. And pretty soon nobody will care about you at all.
Ernest didn't call, did he?
What does Ernest have to do with this?
If you were feeling good, you wouldn't be up all night worrying about me.
You see what you do? Every time we start talking about your problems, we end up talking about my problems. Like you don't have any problems. No, he didn't call. He never calls. And I wait and wait and wait, listening to that silence. Phones are macho. They know when you need a good ring and then they withhold. Pretty soon nobody calls you. Not even your mother. Not even when you're sitting down to eat, she doesn't call you. I swear I'll strangle it with its own cord.
I thought we were talking about my problems.
God, you're self-centered.
How long have you been waiting for Ernest to call?
I don't know. 3 months, 2 days, 19 hours, and 12 minutes.
You know what? Screw Ernest.
I would. But Ernest is handsome. Ernest is witty. Ernest is punctual, successful, ambitious, not opposed to children, and certified AIDS-free. Ernest meets 9 out of my 10 essential requirements.
But the 10th.
So he's not particularly nice. So what?
Hello, everybody. My name is Sean Griffin, and I'll be performing a monologue entitled The Incredible Famous Willie Rivers. It's written by Stephen McCaff, and I'll be playing the character Willie. My first gig? Oh man, it was in my high school gym. It was the big Battle of the Bands. Yeah, we were definitely ready. Me and my band even skipped a day of school that week to go home and practice. I remember my mom, she was gonna go home and go shopping. So I kept calling home, waiting for her to leave so we can go home and jam. She'd answer, I'll hang up. So when she finally stopped answering, boy, we hit to the house. I turned on the stereo while she tuned up. But man, 5 minutes later, the cops had barged in with drawn guns. We didn't know what was going on. My mom had freaked out about the phone calls. She decided the cops was casing the joint. So the cops put an open line on the place and bugged it. But boy, when they came in, you should have seen the sergeant's face. He blasted him to the ozone layer with the good old Jimi Hendrix and Voodoo Child slide return. Yeah. But man, what dumb kids we were. We were filling it with our amps that were no bigger than library books, and then our $4 fuzz box. Oh, and then our mic checks. It was like this.
Test, 1, 2, 1, 2.
It was to get me every time. Our sets were longer than our sound checks, but depending on the drum solo, we could stretch them anywhere from 10 minutes to 4 hours. It's a good part of playing rock and roll, of course. But the best feeling, I remember all the girls and the guys I went to school with. All the jocks, all the cheerleaders, the freaks, the berries and the druggies and the grease eddies. They was all just together and just bonded by us and just listening to us, as into digging us, as we were into playing for them.